Hello guys, my name is BobLyn and welcome to a CV video. Today I decided to play the Manfred Von Richtofen, and in my first game I got 6 kills in a full player game, and this is what you're going to be seeing in this video. I also have another game that was just labeled entertaining game in my stores. So we're gonna check those out, but let's see how I build my ship. So here we have the German CV, and we have, of course, the historical camo, which gives some bomb damage, torpedo damage, surface detection. Pretty good stuff, but I would like to have the other one. My suppliers are this, and I use Carrier Hangar Mod 3, just to get overall capacity. You could take this, but I mean, I found my torpedo bombers just died. I have AA in my second slot, and then concealment in my last slot, so I'm not a CV main, but this is what I do. And here I have Gunter Lutyens with aerobatic maneuvers, battlefield support, high alert plus, air defense expert, survivalist, recon, surveillance, not fully prepared, but instead you could take that. But in a CV you kind of need the dogfight specialist here. And then adrenaline rush, close quarters combat expert plus, which is very nice. And we have a special skill, heavy AP ammo, which is also great. And then, of course, Dauntless Dive and Citadel Strike. Alright, so here we're on the game, and as you can see, it is a full player game. There are no bots, luckily. And there's also a lot of cruisers, which is great. So, yeah, I feel like the CV class is the most powerful, without a doubt. They can spot for themselves and your team. And they deal damage without taking damage, which is what this whole game is about, to deal damage in a artillery ship, let's call it that, a gunboat. You need to expose yourself. You will be taking fire yourself, but a CV deals damage without taking fire, so it's quite powerful. The other thing is, the only countermeasure that's like the only mechanic that's in the game is AI control. Your AA is an algorithm, so you don't control that either. The only thing you can control is dodging. And not a lot of people do that versus CVs, because it just feels like, it's stupid. It doesn't amount to anything. You'll get hit anyways, and most of the time you will. But let's talk about the gameplay. Since I am not a CV main, I am not going to be, trying to be an expert on this. I'm just going to be explaining what I do. And I've sent my fighters down to, contest his. And there's luckily a Worcester, because the midways fighters will, they will win even against my 2 squadrons, I've found. So the Moskva pops up and my dive bombers are going in. So as you see here, the Moskva is almost parallel to the trajectory of my dive bombers. That's how you want to hit a ship. And let me try to explain this. Alright guys, so welcome to Bob's painting class. This is the paint educational class on how to, try to avoid getting hit by a CV dive bomber strike. So we're gonna take this beautiful ship here. Let me just draw a ship. Beautiful ship. This is a ship. Your dive bomber's reticle drop looks like this, and we're gonna make this in red. It looks like this. So you can imagine, if your planes are coming up from behind here, this is the enemy ship, and you drop like this, most of your bombs are gonna hit, because they're gonna drop along the ship's path. If you then instead can we rotate this paint? Goddamn. I'm not very good at it. Now if you rotate this, you can see if I come, crossing his T like this, my bombs are gonna drop all over the place, across his ship. So that's pretty much how you want to do it. And this was it for, educational paint lessons with Bob. Alright, so here we are back in the action. Thank you to Paint Bob. He's such a great artist, right? Alright, so now you know a little bit about the theory, or the reason why I tend to go full broadside against dive bombers. It is the only way I feel like you actually have a chance of mitigating some of the damage. It's not, something I have scientific proof of, I guess, if you could say that. It's just based on, looking at the reticles in the PC game. We can't see reticles in this game, but I just tried, going broadside, and it seems to work sometimes, not always. So the Moskva is pretty low now, and I'm trying to finish him off with my dive bombers. There's no way where for him to hide. I mean, he's gonna try to hide behind this island, but his AA is not sufficient enough to save him from this. It's just, you know, a full-on onslaught. And I feel bad. I mean, I know how it feels when you're playing especially a cruiser, and it's the Moskva, the Hindenburg. All these ships have terrible AA. Even though the Moskva has DFAA, I feel like it's not that good. And when you just get focused by a CV and you can't do anything, it just feels so terrible. But yeah, I mean, actually I don't feel that bad because, yeah, I am not a CV main. I don't play this very often, so sometimes we get to enjoy the forbidden fruit, right? Speaking of the forbidden fruit, at some point there's gonna be a Cruisers of Blitz Smolensk, and I'm excited because I have played the Smolensk. I was just about to say I haven't played the Smolensk in a while, in a long time, maybe, you know, half a year, 7 months or something. So it could be fun to return to one of the most overpowered ships in the game. So I don't know if you noticed, but there are key bindings all over my, you know, screen, and that is because, yes, I do indeed still play CV on BlueStacks. It is possible to do this, and if any of you play on BlueStacks, please message me in my Discord, and we can arrange like a tutorial where I show you guys how I do it, because it's pretty simple, and you can actually manage quite a lot of squadrons at one time because you have all your fingers at 1, 2, 3, like you see me doing with my dive bombers. Down at the bottom left, you can see 1, 2, 3. I can spam those, and I have one of my mouse buttons bound as the firing button, so it's actually quite comfortable, and you know, not as bad as people say when they speak, you know, about BlueStacks CV gameplay. But I know most of you play on phone, and it is just more intuitive and more. Of course it's made for a phone, so it just makes more sense. But any of you CV guys out there, please tell me if I'm doing something wrong, if there's something I need to improve. I just kind of try to support my team in the best way I know how to, and that is taking out low targets. For example, I was kind of expecting our Montana to go down here, and in that case I wanted to kill the Hindenburg, because the trade is also good. I can't save the Monty with my dive bombers, but I can definitely trade a kill. So now we're at the point in the game where I feel comfortable moving in and using my secondary armaments. This Colombo here is pretty much dead already, and I want to take him out as soon as possible before I get too close, because he can still do a lot of damage to me, and he also will. We managed to dodge some of the torpedoes and steer clear of damage, so we are going to turn back in, and there comes a Colombo salvo. Let's see how much it does. Yeah, almost half HP. So it's brutal versus 16 380s. You will take damage, and I can't say the Colombo is OP in a position like this because I am asking for it. Luckily, he goes down to the flood, and now it's just time to rock and roll and show this CV who's the alpha here, because in my opinion, the Manfred man, the alpha CV, you just go in. No stopping. It's like a sleeping menu. You can't stop. I mean, there's no reason to. So if you guys want to see more CV gameplay, please tell me, because I actually enjoyed myself playing this. Like I said, it was my first game. I don't know why I'm so goddamn lucky, but yeah, sometimes you are lucky, right? I didn't have to work that much to play this. I wish I had done this live, because there were reactions coming out of me, but I felt like, you know, I had to do the CV video voiceover because I don't really know what I'm doing. I would probably be focusing too much while playing. But yeah, I don't know. So the torpedo bombers are gonna help us get our Kraken, and I mean, I wasn't expecting a 6 kill, but I'm sure I am gonna send my dive bombers towards this DD, because he's all out there alone and he's gonna go undetected soon, so might as well, right? We also have 300 team score. I feel like CVs get that way too easy with spotting, and yeah, you see my plane kills as well. And here we go. Ooh, he's dead. 6 kills, just under 100k damage, 97k. Pretty decent in my opinion. So that was the first game. My next game is gonna be a little more entertaining. It's like I said, it's just labeled entertaining game in my files, folders and stuff. So yeah, let's see. I think it's gonna be a good one. Alright, so here we are with the entertaining game, and we're playing on encounter, base capture, and just a midway we're against again. Now, I can reveal that this game is going to be a little more, let's say mobile. Yeah, mobile. We're going to be moving a little more in this game and using our guns. So we send our fighters out, like you do, and I typically just send my attack squadrons all the way down at the end until I spot something that I want to attack. It's pretty standard maneuver, I think. But as we move our fighters out, I'm still not seeing his, so that just means he's waiting to see what I do. I don't want his fighters to attack my dive bombers, so we're gonna use them as fast as possible. And luckily there's a Venezia. I don't know why I keep saying that. Not very good bomb hits, but as you can see, he was almost broadside, and that there you can kind of see the thing I'm trying to say with the elliptical shape, that it drops. You get the most success out of your hits when this ship is parallel. So yeah, I hope that Bob's painting lessons did something, because if they didn't, now we have an example. Alright, so I'm trying to see what's going on here at the battle, and we have this Smolensk who's getting, hammered by DD torpedoes and now CV planes, so we send our fighters to help him. I see so many CV players not using their fighters to help. Like, it's such an easy thing to do. You press the button and the plane goes to the ship you want to support. You don't even have to do anything actively. You could be doing that, but you don't have to. Just send them over there. When I request fighter support, the CVs never do it, man. Only the real good CVs do it. And I feel like it's because they don't play these cruisers, maybe battleship that often. They don't know what it feels like to get punished by AA, or maybe they're just not punished by AA, by airstrikes or planes. Maybe it's because they're not just. They just don't play those ships, that they don't know how it feels to get punished by it. So I feel like if you are a CV player, use your fighters a lot more. Don't just go for the enemy planes. Try to set them over ships that are vulnerable. And for example, if you're playing against the Midway and you have Enisumo or GK, I'm gonna bet for sure that the Midway is gonna go for those ships because they burn very easily. So just send your fighters over there if there's nothing else to do, and you might just help him a little bit. You won't kill the squadrons, right? You won't prevent the strike, but you will maybe make the CV think twice about attacking where your fighters are. Alright, so now we're on the move. We've gotten one kill, and we are still gonna be trying to use our fighters here. We see his coming in, and I'm gonna send mine in to contest them. There's no way I'm gonna be able to hit his planes without mine going into dogfight. So yeah, they're just gonna die to his fighters. Here we're trying to kill the Montana, but it is a dumb idea because he is in an AA bubble that is pretty powerful. There's a Midway in Montana. Yeah, the planes are not gonna get out alive, and there is a smoke popping up on the horizon. So I sent my torpedo bombers in hopes of just getting an indication as to where he is and what it is. At this point I don't know what kind of ship we're dealing with. It could be the Smolensk. I'm hoping it is, because Smolensk is an easy target for a Manfred, man. Very easy. And here I'm sending my torpedo bombers away to wait for this smoke, because I want to be able to kill this guy once I realized it was the Smolensk. And he's sitting still. So I'm not sure if this is a kill, but he's pretty much out of action and he has to get out. And there you go. I don't know if you noticed, but we're almost out of dive bombers. So that is why you could be running the dive bomber capacity mod, because your dive bombers are your bread and butter. These torpedo bombers have a very wide spread, and they don't, they're not easy at killing. They're not good at killing DDs. So your dive bombers are your main armament, of course. But I do like to have more fighters. I do like to have more torpedo bombers. So I chose the overall. But this is a downside, because you can see I'm out of dive bombers, and now there's no other reason for me to stay in the base. So that's why we're already halfway there. And we see the Midway. I don't think he knows where I am, so he's actually pushing kind of my way, and I'm hoping to turn my ship to starboard and hopefully maybe get my secondary batteries in range. It could be kind of hilarious to kill him with my secondaries, so that's what I'm hoping to, but he's probably gonna die before that, so we just take him out with our torpedoes. Maybe not. No, they're gonna take the kill. Alright, so we did not end up getting the midway, but this means now that he's gone that I have free roam to push these BBs, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. I have no idea, you know, what I'm doing here, but I'm just pushing in. I don't know why. I get these weird blackouts, man. It's just almost like a blackout where I just turn off all logic and just move in without thinking about it. It's just so much fun, man, and especially in a CV because it's just a meme in itself. I'm so sad they didn't give this ship main battery like the Graf Zeppelin. I mean, that could have been awesome if you could kind of build this as a like moving raft, I guess you could say, full of guns. I mean, it could be kind of fun, and then you would have planes as well. I mean, if you have the Corsairs, why can't we have main guns on the Manfred, man? Come on, man. Yeah, they're trying to move into make this more like the PC game. I'm kind of predicting, this is just a, you know, a guess, but I'm predicting there's going to be a CV rework at some point. And how would you guys feel about that? How would you feel about a CV rework? If you know how it is on PC, it's you actually control the whole squad in a like third-person view, not a top-down view, so you can only control one at a time. And it feels more intuitive, more immersive, right? But it's, some people say the version we have here, the RTS version, is better. I don't know. I don't play this class enough to care, to be honest. So now we're gonna be capturing the base in the enemy base in my CV here, and I mean, this is just a meme in itself. What's going on here? What is the CV doing pushing in like this? And this gearing must be thinking, what the actual F is going on? I mean, he can't do much. I have my sonar active. I'm just bowing into him. I mean, in a CV, if you just bow into torps, you're gonna survive most of the time because you are a pretty tanky ship, and this thing is armored as well. It is a Friedrich der Große hull. So the tier 9 BB, it's that hull, but just with a flight deck on top. It's amazing, right? It's a Frankenstein of a ship. So we unfortunately don't get the gearing, but we ended up in the enemy base and we won the game. Pretty fun little, yeah, entertaining game, I would say. And I hope you enjoyed my CV video, because there's probably not going to be many of them. Because, I mean, I just don't play it that often. But this was fun, I will admit that. I had a lot of fun playing this, and it could be pretty cool to become a CV main, huh? I don't know. We'll see about that. Maybe on streams. Alright, guys, my name's been BobLyn, signing off.